Friends, family, fans, welcome back to another episode of Back 9 Bets. Episode 149, Maverick in the Box. We got a lot going on in the title, but the thumbnail on the YouTube channel makes a lot more sense once you see it. If you watch the Saturday Night Live skit with Jake Peralta, whatever that guy's name was, great skit, great song, Happy Happies. It is the first leg of the playoffs, baby. FEDEX St. Jude. Show's brought to you by Play Profit X. Use code FGDegenerates to get yourself 1.5% back on all your first couple 30 plays over there. Let's get into it. We got some bets, not a lot of them, so we're going to go DFS heavy. I've got the model filtered by DK pricing, so we're just going to go down the pricing, do as many guys as we can today, and I'll address some bets as we go along. Comprende? We also might or may not be doing some Ryder Cup stuff at the end of the show. Looking forward to that. So, as always, article saying great thumb. What's going on? JD in the house. What's up, JD? Let's have ourselves a banger. Let's get the screen popping. Let's have ourselves a good old time. And we're going to get some comments up on the right-hand side here as they stroll on in. So bring the heat. I'm taking questions as we're going, baby. We're going free for all today. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to roll through the bets. Let's have a banger. Scottie Scheffler, not betting him, $13,000, 42% ownership. I have built a lineup I can actually pallet with the Scottie Scheffler. So deep field, we chat about some guys down in the 6K range, which open up the rest of the slots for you in a Scottie Scheffler lineup. We'll get to him here shortly. Scottie Scheffler is going to be in the player pool. I think he's someone that will obviously be in the mix. He finishes inside the top 5 at a 55% clip, which is absurd when you think that Russell Henley is like the next best top 10 rate of 58%. So Scottie's finishing inside the top 5 as often as Russell Henley's finishing inside the top 10, and Russell Henley's doing that at an elite rate. So while we're just going to go ahead over there and talk about a Russell Henley top 10. Yeah, we are. Russell Henley top 10. We know what Russell Henley can get up to over here. He finds himself inside the magic world where he's finishing inside the top 10 simultaneously when he's finishing inside the top 20. Because he finishes inside the top 20 58% of the time, finishes inside the top 10 58% of the time. And if you are a long-time listener, you know that we call Russell Henley on this channel the Sex Panther, because 60% of the time he's inside the top 20 every time. But now he's upgraded. That is true. It remains true. 58% of the time he's inside the top 20 every time. But he's also Sex Panther Platinum now. 60% of the time he's always inside the top 10 every time. And plus 190 is a delightful number. If we go over to the Maniacs placement tool over here and we filter on the biggest edge in the tool, there's a 37% edge on a guy by the name of Russell Henley for this top 20 bet, this top 10 bet. The bet of a top 10 at plus 190 implies it happens 34% of the time. We know Russell Henley finishes inside the top 10, Sex Panther the amount of times, 58% of the time. So he's right over there for us. The edge is a 37% edge. Massive, massive edge. I think it just makes far too much sense to be going at these guys when there's an edge like this. So we're betting him for 3 units for the top 10 market, people. He's doing this 4 times in a row. If we go over to check what Russell Henley's got up to in the last little while, take a look at his situation here. The course history, he's got 2 top 10s in his last 5 starts. A 6th over here. Sorry, 1 top 10 in the last 3 starts. A 6th in 2023. Boom. Perfect. Finished 30th here last year. It is what it is. But take a look at what he's been up to coming into this world. 5th at the Memorial, 10th at the US Open, 2nd at the Travelers, 10th at the Open Championship. Let's go. So we're going to be betting Russell Henley as well at 30-1. Plus 3,000. Let's go Russell Henley. Get us on the board, baby. We are looking for people to get us across the line. Some good value over here. Russell's obviously very comfortable hanging around the top of the leaderboard. Going to bet that top 10. Bet him 30-1 as well, because that seems like some solid value, some good course history. If you take a look at his proximity buckets, he's actually very fancy out of the rough from inside 150 and from outside 150. We're basically looking for approach numbers, a lot of the model weighting will be coming from 100 to 200 yards in proximity. Russell Henley, a lot better when it comes to those proximities too. He's finding himself 20th in the model from 150 to 200 and 22nd in the model from 100 to 150. We know Russell Henley's top 20 in Bermuda putting. He finds himself 18th over the last 24 rounds putting on Bermuda. So there's another top 20 for you over there for Russell Henley. If you take a look at easy scoring conditions, he's second in the field there. By the way, I took a look. Let's go pull up the Model Maniac Discord over here. I pulled in some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful research stuff over here for you guys. And I pulled up the weather. This is a blurry-ass picture that's now figured itself out. If you're taking a peek here, it is calm across the entire week. We don't have any winds remotely close to 10 miles an hour all week long. So I would predict, because if you take a look at the statistical breakdown of this golf course, scoring averages are typically by -1 or below. So if you take a look at what we use as an easy scoring conditions, it's when it's -2 or below for scoring average. Medium is -1 to -2. That full shot is medium, from -1 to -2. These are basically medium conditions. The last 2 years, we've seen medium conditions. We could be pushing certain rounds easy conditions. So ideally leaning towards medium conditions for golfers this week. We have that over here in the columns, but also easy conditions might show up every now and then. So we're going to be looking at those guys too. That's basically what we're looking for over there. I'm going to scoot this up a smidgen more. Make this over here, this way. Tidy this up a little bit so we can at least see some stuff. Okay, there we go. So that's Russell Henley for us. We are locking and loading. 25th on medium, second on easy. We like what's going on there. Super, super accurate, keeps his ball in the play, does all the stuff we're looking for correctly. Nothing about his game apart from being off the tee, lacking distance. Not that big of a deal here. I don't think you need to nuke it off the tee. Just think you got to keep it in play. That's what we're looking for. Lots of good stuff. Data Golf's got this dude ranked well up there. Third in the field, I believe. So he's ahead of Xander Schauffele currently, Data Golf ranking. So that's impressive to think about. But, you know, it's splitting hairs. Russell Henley, 30-1. Let's go. Scooting along down the board. Anyone else that we are going to be betting here? Xander Schauffele, in my opinion, $11,000. A little too pricey for me for what he's actually giving us. If you take a look at what Xander's been up to, we've got this big red box over here, a 6 in a box for Xander. T5 rate, only 6%, not good. Red boxes, not good on this show. You're looking for guys, unbelievable top 20 rate, same as Russell Henley. But even Russell Henley's got that 60% top 10 rate, baby. So I'm leaning Russell Henley over Xander Schauffele. If you take a look at my notes over here for Justin Thomas, it says, like him more than Xander. I still like Russell Henley more than Justin Thomas. So there's a lot to like in this range. I'm in on Henley, kind of in on JT. If I'm playing Henley, Tommy Fleetwood, I'm in. If I'm playing Justin Thomas, Tommy Fleetwood, I'm in. I'm not going to be clicking Tommy Fleetwood first. I need to click a guy first if I believe he's going to win. I don't know if Tommy Fleetwood is going to win. However, it is the year of 2025. Thomas Dietrich's won. Cameron Young has won. Brian Campbell has won twice. Anything is possible in the year of 2025. Maybe Tommy Fleetwood gets across the line here. We were taking a look at Tommy Fleetwood's top 20 market. It's great. -160 is the number, though. Are we down on a Tommy Fleetwood -160? I don't think so. So we're going to kind of just leave that alone. He's been a little iffy the last little while as well. If you take a look at his recent results, you know, after the Travelers, we've got a 34th and a 16th at the Open. Tommy Fleetwood's playing fantastic golf right now. Those aren't great results for him. Top 10s are what he does. Finishes inside the top 5 a lot. 31% of the time he's inside the top 5. So you're going to get a lot of that from Tommy Fleetwood, but you're also going to be wondering why you clicked his name when he kind of ultimately lets you down after being in the lead. So that's what Tommy Fleetwood's deal is. We're going to rock and roll elsewhere. Names we're going to be looking at. His name is Viktor Hovland. We are off and racing, 35-1 DraftKings out there. No each ways this week. We're kind of just shooting the shit with the straight outrights. 23% owned for Viktor Hovland. Obviously, people are liking what they're seeing from him. Going to likely be an ownership fade at that kind of percentage. We got lots of upside here, 7th in the model for upside. If we take a look at what Viktor Hovland does well, if you're looking at a ball striker's paradise, here he is. 3rd in the field in ball striking. Off the tee in the last 24 rounds, he's 3rd in the field. Course-specific proximities, strokes gained, 2nd. Proximity range, 3rd. Green regulation rate, 3rd. Good shot percentages, 8th. Poor shot avoidance, 5th. Top 8 across all 5 metrics that we look at over here. And that's weighted. 8th in the field from 100 to 150. 4th in the field from 150 to 200. 2nd in the field from 200 plus. Doesn't matter what course you're on. His irons are freaking dialed in, baby. So that's what you're getting from Viktor Hovland. You're also going to be getting Bermuda over the last 24 rounds. That's 36th in the field. Had a couple bad 5 to 15 footers on Bermuda that he struggled on, but we're going to lean into the overall strokes gain that he's provided us with here of 36th. So good to see there on short Bermuda golf courses. Not Bermuda golf courses, not short ones. These are just Bermuda golf courses. It used to be the Wyndham short Bermuda. Now we're just going to Bermuda. So on Bermuda surfaces, Viktor Hovland finds himself with the 4th most birdies in the field. That's good to see as well. We're liking a lot of that. Viktor typically gets off to slow starts, which is not ideal. But if he gets off to a hot start at a golf course he really likes, that can play out into our favor in a big, big way. 2nd year last year, 13th the year before, 20th. He's just got better and better as he's played at this golf course. There's only one position ahead of 2nd, and that is 35-1 Viktor Hovland to win this golf tournament. Let's go. I'm out on Colin Morikawa. If you take a look at his ranking over here, it's 12th and 17th for me. DK has him priced at number 9. So that's not ideal for Colin. We won't be playing him at all, although he does check a lot of boxes. We are looking at a situation here where Colin Morikawa has not had a top 5 in a very, very long time. The Rocket Mortgage is only top 20. Basically, since the Memorial, the Memorial was 20th, not even that great. So a lot going on for Colin Morikawa, but it is what it is. Before we get anywhere else, let's check in on the chat here. We got Mike saying we're on the big telly. What's going on? We got to go. Big telly Mike, what's up? Let's go. All right. We got our guy, Wheels Up, saying, cheers, Matt. Cheers, mate. Russell Henley hasn't played much, but when he does, he's elite. Because his name has been out of the golf filtering system, people might forget about his absolute winning upside on DK as well. If we take a look, there's 19% ownership on Russell Henley's name. So the people haven't forgot about him, but like you mentioned, look here, he barely plays. Didn't play the Scottish, Travelers, US Open, Memorial. It's majors and signature events. So that's what we're kind of looking at for Russell Henley. We are going all in on him. I totally agree with you. What's up, commentating nerd? Yes, you were the reason why I kind of finally tipped my hat to Viktor Hovland this week. I think you spot on with what he should get up to this week. He's going to be rocking and rolling. How do you feel about Scottie without Scottie markets is going to be interesting. I typically don't do them. I felt like there were some really frisky numbers out of DraftKings today and yesterday, where we finding some good value. And Scottie Scheffler wins only once every 3 times, once every 4 times. So we've got to capitalize on the times that he doesn't. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe Scottie gets it dialed in again this week. It is what it is. If you're in the mood to go those markets, that's the way to go. Usually I do the each ways, and the each way markets don't have without Scottie. There we go. All right. So Fitzpatrick likely gets another top 10. I don't have him graded as such. Doesn't do a lot for me in the model. Fitzy is just one of those dudes. It is what it is when you get into Fitz territory. The model hasn't caught up with him yet. And the thing is, he's played well at the Rocket. Yes, he played well at the Scottish Open Championship. 4th, good. He's been super consistent, but it just doesn't feel like anytime he's got close to leading, it's kind of been injection. And the Wyndham was a backdoor top 8. And he freaking lost to Aaron Rai. So I lost my matchup on him. So I'm kind of pissy on Fitzy. And even at that ownership, I'm out. I'd rather go. I'd probably go Tommy Fleetwood over Matthew Fitzpatrick right now. If you're going to give me 5% less ownership, let's go. You've seen what Tommy's been up to. Yes, Fitz is on a bit of a run right now. I don't know. I don't know if I can get there with him. And yeah, that's my situation there. Ludwig is also a massive, massive issue right now. We are not seeing any really semblance of form on the United States front. 8th at the Scottish, solid. He's always played well there. 23rd at the Open Championship, starting to show some form. I don't know if I can do 9,500, 19% owned, given the fact that we're not really seeing any upside here. At least Viktor's got a couple solid starts, you know what I'm saying, in the last recent time here. I don't know. I might also fade Viktor, though. You know, maybe we go ownership. It's tough at the top of the board here. I think I'm going to like a lot at the 9 up range, and then in the 8s. That's kind of where we're going to start. So let's chat about the guys in the 8s. We're not going to be playing Patrick Cantley. I like him, but 13% ownership isn't as much leverage as I was hoping for. Sam Burns, also same situation. I think I like Hideki more. I like Sepp Straka more. Keegan Bradley, those kind of guys. So we'll chat about Hideki Matsuyama first. We're going to Hideki Matsuyama at 40 to 1. He's our next bet for the next start over here at this week's TPC Southwind venue. If we take a look at his safety ranking at 6th, not shabby at all. If we take a look at, let's do this. I'm still trying to figure out the zoom-ins, yeah. If we take a look at his upside, it's 35th, though, because Hideki Matsuyama hasn't had a top 10 since the Century win this year. It's been a long time since he's had a top 10. Course history, he is the defending champ. Calm courses, he checks a lot of boxes. Makes a lot of sense. A 2nd, a 16th, and a 1st at TPC Southwind in the last 3 starts. Add a 20th to there for a 4th start in a row. Great stuff. 19th at the Wyndham, 16th at the Open, 13th at the Rocket. Just can't seem to break through in the top 10 market, but we're going to be going to him for the win. Does he defend the championship? We don't know. Likely not. But you do tend to see people defending. The reason these good golfers play well at certain courses, they suit their skill set. And this place suits Hideki Matsuyama's to a T. If we take a look at his strokes gain metrics, he's 8th in the field in specific strokes gained. He's 4th in poor shot avoidance. Remember, poor shot avoidance is going to be very important this week. When I speak about good shot avoidance, good shot percentages, and poor shot percentages, a good shot is when you gain over half a stroke on a single approach. A bad shot, a poor shot, is when you lose over half a stroke. There's so much water on this golf course, you got to avoid the poor shots. It's going to be easy. It's going to be pin firing in these conditions, but you got to avoid the poor shots. There's some guys that avoid the poor shots a lot more, and as a result, you tend to see, like Corey Connors, you're not seeing him spike up to the top of the leaderboard because he avoids poor shots well, but his good shot rates, not so good. You know, he doesn't go at flags, doesn't hit a lot stiff, although he is constantly peppering flags, making minimal mistakes in that department, if you feel what I'm saying. So Hideki Matsuyama, what does he get up to on Bermuda surfaces? Not too shabby. Last 24 rounds, 34th in the field. But we know Hideki Matsuyama right now is putting his face off. He can putt lights out when he wants. Off the tee, it's been disastrous. It is what it is. But we'll take a gamble on him. Last couple rounds off the tee has been better. So that's good to see. We'll take a gamble on the putter, take a gamble on the around the green, and the iron play just being sensational. So 40 to 1 is a fair number for Hideki Matsuyama. I think he can do some good things for us. One click down, and we're going to go to Sepp Straka, 40 to 1. Love Sepp Straka. Love the ball striking. 8th in the field. Off the tee, 27th. Doesn't typically have all the distance in the world, but he's accurate as shit. So he's going to keep it in the fairway, rocking and rolling. Sepp Straka. Let's go. Easy scoring, medium scoring, he doesn't care. Hard scoring even, he's fine. It's the majors, it's the hellish conditions that really give him a tough time. We're not going to be seeing that this week at all. Of course, we'll not be playing over par, I don't believe, in these conditions. Sepp Straka, 5th in the field for weighted strokes gained approach. Leads the field from 100 to 150. 5th in the field from 150 to 200. He's also very shabby, very, very, very handy from 200 plus. It doesn't really matter where you put him. He's still going to be very, very good. Now, if he finds himself in the rough, he's 60th in the field of 70 people in strokes gained from inside 150 out the rough. 36th in the field from 150 and out the rough. Not the greatest out the rough. But, again, he's accurate. 12th in the field in accuracy. So you're going to be getting that from him. Overall, the ball striking typically lines up well. Terrible around the greens. I love Sepp on Zoysia as well. Great name for grass, Zoysia. I think he's going to do wonderful things for us. The putting has been a little poor the last little while. But if we take a look at what he gets up to on Bermuda, he sees a 21 spot jump in Bermuda putting versus his baseline. So that's good to see over there. Nice, nice, nice. I like what Sepp Straka is getting up to. Also tends to get off to some slow starts, but finds his groove in round 2 and round 3 for showdown if you're in the mood for anything like that. By the way, did finish second year in 2022. Sepp Straka, ladies and gentlemen. Keegan Bradley. We've got a Keegan Bradley bet for us. By the way, we're also going to be going with Hideki Matsuyama first round leader. If you take a look at what we're doing over here, let's get Hideki Matsuyama walking up to the stage and taking a look at his round 1 strokes gained average being number 14 in the field. So round 1, he typically dials it in. I think we're going to see some good stuff from Hideki. Goes off early in the morning. It's Memphis. It's hot. The course is going to get baked out. I think you're trying to get the softest conditions early in the morning. He gets a 9:05 tee time in round 1. Let's go with Hideki Matsuyama with that kind of ranking for first round leader. We're chatting about Keegan Bradley. That's why we're going with Hideki first round leader. That's why we're going with Keegan for first round leader. If we take a look at what old Keegs has been up to, number 3 in the model for strokes gained in round 1 over the last 12 months. Fantastic to see. If we take a look at the Bermuda putting, it tends to get a little better on Bermuda for Keegan than typically we see from him. If we're taking a look at his approach play, 17th in the field in specific approach play. That's Corey Connors, sorry. 28th. Not too shabby either. Not the greatest, but he's very good with the wedges. 100 to 150, Keegan is dialed in. 18th from 150 to 200. Boom. The 2 boxes we're looking for, top 20 in both of those. Out the rough, he's probably not as great, especially with the long irons either. 32nd in the field with the long iron. So give me a mid-range off with a mid-off with Keegan Bradley in the iron front, and we're looking good. Solid with the wedges inside 150. Quite bad from outside 150 out the rough. So going to have to keep it in the fairway unless, find something out the rough there. Keegan's pretty poor out the rough, and I think that's what's going to do a lot of hurting for Keegan if he can't keep it in the fairway. But he's middle in the middle of the pack in driving accuracy as well. So hopefully he can keep it in play. Go ahead, get it together. He's always very, very good in round 1. So love what Keegan's situation is. If you're taking a look at how it compares to his other rounds, it's night and day. Gets off to hot starts. So hopefully he can continue that this week in Memphis. In a DFS realm, I'll play Keegan Bradley over Patrick Cantley. I think I'm also going to be ditching out on Hideki Matsuyama at 19% ownership. I don't think I can get there. with Hideki. It's going to be ridiculous amounts of ownership for someone that doesn't have that much upside. Safe option, sure. I don't know why I bet him. We're going with the bet. It is a bet that we've made, but the upside is lacking for me. 23 spots between his DraftKings price and where I have him for upside. So significant issues for the Dexter at $8,800 and 19% ownership. Give me all of these other pink boxes around Hideki Matsuyama instead. I'll gladly take them all. So this is the episode we're celebrating pink boxes. Let's see what they can do for us. Keegan is smoking some good kush lately. Always so happy. You know what? Because he knows he's on the Ryder Cup team. I would be happy as shit if I knew a certainty that the decision that needs to be made lies within me, and I know what that decision is already. Keegan's on the team. He's happy. He's happy chappy. He knows he can play as badly as he wants. He's going to be rocking and rolling. So that's Keegan Bradley for you guys. Hideki Matsuyama, first round leader as well. Let's see what else we can find. By the way, we're also doing Russell Henley, first round leader, 40 to 1. If we go back up to Henley's situation, I did these right before the show, by the way. Sorry. So we're going to keep on cruising over here. You can just see Russell Henley. His best strokes gained of the 4 rounds, round 1, 6th in the field in strokes gained average over there. So we like to see Russell Henley get off to hot starts. I think I'll be eating that 19% ownership. I think he's one option that's okay for me to do. So we like Russell Henley a lot, in case I haven't mentioned that a million times already. We're in on Sepp Straka. We're in on Keegan Bradley for first round leader. Corey Connors, I haven't quite made my mind up yet. He's doing his own thing. We'll see what he does. Harris English, gaining some ownership, but the price seems fine. The model hasn't caught up, though, and that's the problem over there with Harris English. Then we're going to move on to Ben Griffin. Gryffindor will be 40-1 to win this tournament. People keep going on about why Ben Griffin shouldn't be on the Ryder Cup team. He needs to carry on playing well this weekend. Ben Griffin has 7 top 14s in his last 9 starts. 7 of his last 9 starts have been top 14s. Colin Morikawa in that same stretch of time has 1 top 14 at the Rocket Mortgage. He should be on the team instead of Colin Morikawa, in my opinion. I think Colin should still also be on the team. It's hard to kind of convince me that the guys, that 11th and 12th spot's going to be tough, but we'll chat about that later on. We're going to deep dive some Ryder Cup stuff. I've got some fun crap for you guys to handle. Going to be lots of fun there. Ben Griffin, 11-point difference between the model ranking and the DraftKings pricing. He's $8,100. If we go over to the right-hand side here, missed the cut at the Open, I do not care. He sucks at the Open Championship. It's the only time in the last 9 weeks that he's lost strokes off the tee was at the Open Championship, and the putter let him down in epic proportions at the John Deere Classic. Along the way, he has still gained off with his irons every single time he's played. The last 9 tournaments, he has gained on approach. He's gained in 8 of 9 off the tee. He's a very good putter. He's a very good chipper. He gets it all together. His game is so well-rounded. Putting around the green play, solid. Iron play, very, very good. Checks some boxes for us. If we're taking a look at what Ben Griffin really thrives at, it's the long iron stuff. Yeah, we're going to have a problem. Bethpage is going to be perfect for him, by the way, with the long irons and how he drives the golf ball. But he's pretty darn good out the rough from 150 and out, so we're good there. Bermuda putting, top 20 in both departments. Love that. And gets off to some solid starts as well. So we like Ben Griffin in a big way there. The course history, not the greatest, but again, this is Ben Griffin of new. We're not looking at old Ben Griffin. We're looking at new Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin with the Gryffindor sword in his hand. I don't know, whatever. So that's the situation there for old Benny G. Don't mind him at $8,100, 14% owned. Give me. Can't do Cameron Young. I mean, if you're taking a look at top 40 rates, Cameron Young just not there when it comes to top 40s. He's very inconsistent. It's mainly got to do with the fact that he's a very good putter and everything else in his game is kind of shit. The ball striking is 58th in this field. He somehow won a golf tournament last week. Like, putter went nuts. Led the field in putting and also led the field off the tee. Iron play, obviously not that important when you're doing those 2 other things better than anyone else in the field. Does that continue this week? I don't think so. I think iron play matters a lot this week, and Cameron Young is not very good. 38th in the field from 100 to 150. 64th in the field from 150 to 200. Out the rough, he's 45th. Out the rough, he's 33rd. There's nothing good about his iron play outside of the mediocre wedges. He's playing against a lot better golfers this week. Not just going to beat Scottie Scheffler with poor iron or mediocre iron play and a good putter. He's going to whoop your ass. So I don't think Cam Young's got it. We'll see. We'll see. Chris Gotterup, he's fine. Makes a lot of sense here. His iron play has been dialed up a lot lately. The model hasn't caught up to him yet. The ownership is fine. I'm just kind of neutral on him. It is what it is. Nothing to say about him. We're going to get rid of him, and that's pretty much it. So we got Russell Henley for a winner, Viktor Hovland for a winner, Ben Griffin for a winner, Sepp Straka for a winner, and Hideki Matsuyama. 5 guys, 30 to 40 to 1. That's the range we're looking at. We are rocking and rolling. Russell Henley for a top 10, plus 190. Tires paid in full. Hammer that shit. Let's go. I went over to the situation over here for Play Profit X, which is shows brought to you by. Use code FGDegenerates for 1.5% off your first 30 winning plays. Went over here to Russell Henley. I am the man that is trying to request a top 10, and it's struggling. It's really struggling to get the people to bite, but we're in on the plus 190 already. We're trying to get a little greedy and get people to, we haven't made that play yet. So let's try again. I'm going to go Russell Henley here for him to finish top 10, we're going to change these odds to plus 225 and just see what happens. We're going to unload the clip on Russell Henley. Can't do it while I'm on the thing. Okay. There we go. All right. So there's the Russell Henley bet. We're going to wait for somebody to say that he's not going to finish inside the top 10 at minus 225 and lay the $112. Let's see what Russell Henley can do for us. All right. There's our Play Profit X play of the day, Russell Henley top 10. I will tinker with this. I will likely get lower and lower until it gets to 190. Then I won't be playing it because there's a better number elsewhere. That's how you use Play Profit X. You want the best number out there. If you're looking for a Harry Hall top 20, we're going to be looking on another situation over here. Harry Hall top 20, baby, makes too much sense. Take a look at this man's metrics. They are bizarre. No top 5s in the last 12 months. None of them. Couple top 10s, 13% of the time. 49. 50% of the time, Harry Hall finished inside the top 20. Half the time. We're getting a Harry Hall top 20 plus 150. Let's go. Those are with dead heats, though. So we're going to be eating that a little bit. But Harry Hall in the top 20 market has been sensational. If you're taking a look at his safety ranking, it's 11th in my model, 40th for upside. He's a very unique case. 6th in the field in strokes gained total in this field, but he doesn't have a top 5. Does not have a top 5. The most recent good finish he had was a 9th at the Travelers. That's his last top 10. Outside of that, he's been flirting between top 30 and 9th. That's just where Harry Hall lives. Some people find their happy place in these ranges. They accept that this is their ceiling kind of thing, and they go. They're just happy to be making hundreds and thousands of dollars finishing 17th. So congrats to Harry Hall on just nickel and diming the PGA Tour. So good for him. We're going to be going with the top 6, the top 20 at plus 150. 6% ownership isn't terrible, by the way. And we're also going to be looking at a Harry Hall first round leader at 50 to 1. He is not very good at finishing inside the top 5 at the end of the week. But when it comes to Harry Hall in the first round, he's 4th in the field in strokes gained. So he kind of just gets himself way the hell out there and then just drifts on back as the week unfolds. 10th in the field in strokes gained in round 2, 26th in round 3, and 28th in round 4. Slowly just falls outside that top 5 as the week unfolds. You can see the numbers painting the correlation between the lack of top 5 success and his consistency of the top 20s. Those round by round numbers show you that. I mean, isn't this so cool when you can see this kind of stuff? Round 1, he's great. Round 2, he's good. Round 3 and 4, not so great. Middle of the pack. That's how you don't finish inside the top 5 all the time. That's how you constantly finish inside the top 20. And that's why we're going to be going with the Harry Hall top 20. So let's see what he can do for us. First round leader as well. Let's go Harry Hall, baby. Scooting on down the model, we're going to find another guy, go from there. Daniel Berger, by the way, is my favorite play in the 7K range. I don't like it, but we're going to not have to forget that he is the only person to check all 6 boxes this week. Daniel Berger off the tee the last 24 rounds. Where is that in the model? 10th in the model. Scoring on easy conditions or medium conditions. Harry Hall, Daniel Berger, 4th in easy scoring conditions, 45th in medium. So, but still, one of those boxes is checked. That's what we're looking for. Easy or medium. Maybe gets a half a star. If we're looking for strokes gained approach 100 to 200, 32nd from 100 to 150, and 13th from 150 to 200. So checks that other box. Let's go. Another half a box, but still checks it. We're looking for St. Jude course history. Well, how does a 2nd and a 5th sound for you back in 2020 and 2021 when he was making the playoffs prior to all the injury stuff? Good. Comp course history. We can go over to the comp courses over here. Hit the comp course, strokes gained by round. Boom chakalaka. Where the hell is Daniel Berger? Here he is over here. I'm going to freeze some panes like Eminem. Window panes. Where's the buttons? Here we go. Freeze up to row 2. And we're going to freeze up to column B. Beautiful. So here's Daniel Berger for us over here. TPC Southwind, we've got this great course history. Also, I think, did he win this thing in 2017 back in the day? We don't have that, obviously, in the model, but all the way back in 2017, he has got a 3.1 strokes gain on the field. That's usually what wins 50% of golf tournaments, averaging 3 strokes per round. TPC Sawgrass, solid. Daniel Berger, very, very good around there. Typically gains over a stroke in that department. If we're taking a look at TPC River Highlands, where the Travelers happens, not the greatest, but still gets it together. If we're taking a look at Innisbrook, not the greatest either. But Harbour Town, he's been sensational at that kind of a golf course. Wildlife Country Club, been pretty darn good. PGA National, a.k.a. the Honda Classic, sensational track record there this year. Gained 1.1 strokes over there again. Should have won it in 2022. I made an article. Had Daniel Berger at 16-1. Couldn't bring it home. Had a 5-shot lead going into Sunday. Tossed it away. Not good. Colonial Country Club, never played great there. It is what it is. TPC San Antonio played solid. And then here's TPC Southwind again for the shorter period. You know, some impressive stuff for Daniel Berger. So I don't think that's even, we're just going to get rid of all of that stuff at some point. Anyway, back to the model. This is what we're liking. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Berger checks that box. Putting on Bermuda grass. He grows up in Florida. Makes lots of sense. From 5 to 15 feet, he is 16th in the field. Let's go, Daniel Berger. You see what I'm saying? Lots of boxes, lots of top 20s. Daniel Berger, Bob's your uncle. $7,800, 13% owned. We're going to have to go with him. He could hurt us. He likely will. This is probably the gas station play that I actually should have made, but it's going to be good stuff. Going to monitor some ownership on Jordan Spieth. Checks a lot of boxes. Now, the fun thing is, take a look at what Jordan Spieth has been up to. 5th in the field in strokes gained total. What has that equated to for Jordan Spieth in the last couple starts? Well, 7th, 23rd, 40th, and 31st. Consistently hanging out there. Spieth's kind of like hacking the system with strokes gain consistency. The performances, you know, the Memorial is a bit of a back-end type situation. We've got a 6th year in 2023, a 12th in 2021 at TPC Southwind. So got some course history, monitoring the ownership. I don't like to play Jordan Spieth when too many people are playing him. Wyndham Clark checks my boxes for recent form, not checking any boxes for long-term metrics. But 3 of his last 4 best finishes in 2025 have come in the last 3 starts. 7th, 11th at the Scottish, 4th at the Open. That's the first time Wyndham Clark has finished inside the top 40 of a major or top 30 in a major since his US Open win. His US Open win was his only other top 30, I think. This is his next top 30, and it's a 4th. So 2 top 5s, 2 top 30s for Wyndham Clark in majors. Kind of crazy, isn't it? 3M Open finished 12th. Solid stuff. I fancied him at the Wyndham. Wyndham at the Wyndham would have been fun to say. But 7th here last year for Wyndham Clark. Check some boxes, baby. So when I get over to the OG model, I'll be updating the Wyndham Clark Maniac Override deployment there. I think he's got a lot to go with. However, I would probably lean into Jake Knapp over Wyndham Clark. Given the fact that he's 5% owned, half the ownership of Wyndham Clark, Jake Knapp, a 4th, a 21st, a 22nd, and a 3rd in his last 5 starts. Missed the cut at the Wyndham, chipped himself out of the tournament. It is what it is. Almost fought back to make the cut, went nuts on the front. I think he shot a 29 or a 30. So he's back in business. Nothing's too wrong with him. Had a bad hole where he chipped himself out of the event. Also, never the worst in round 1, 16th in the field in strokes gained, 11 a.m. tee time. But there is one other dude we want to chat about. His name's Denny McCarthy. He also goes by the name of Denny. I live in round 1 territory for all my life. 5th in the field in strokes gained in round 1 for Denny McCarthy. Nothing better than 27th for the other 3 rounds. He does have a 9th place finish here. He has an 11th place finish at the Wyndham Championship, an 11th at the John Deere, and a 12th at the Travelers. He's been sensational in the top 20 market. If you're looking at that, it's 47% of the time he's finding himself inside the top 20, but the model's only got him at a 27th in safety, so we can't quite pull the trigger on a top 20, even though he has been well. The field adjustedness is a much different situation for Denny. However, first round leader for Denny McCarthy is absolutely where we're going to be going at 55-1. Great on Bermuda putting, great in first round, solid course history. If you take a look at Denny McCarthy's mid irons, they're 26th in the field, solid with the long irons as well. So good to see all of that. And medium scoring is 8th in the field. So got a lot going on. He's a great putter in general. The iron play is coming along every now and then. Let's see what Denny McCarthy can do for us in round 1. Like that play a lot. And then we got one more play, and his name is Ryan Fox. He is going to be our final first round leader, play at 81. Take a look at what Ryan Fox has been up to. The ball striking, the iron play, 16th in the field in strokes gained approach, 16th in the field in strokes gained putting. That's a fantastic combination to play well and do good on courses like this. He goes off at 8:30 in the morning, and he's 13th in the field in strokes gained round 1. Everything else is ranked outside 33rd. So there's a lot to like from Ryan Fox's side. Great on Bermuda putting as well. Great putting in general. The irons are dialed. We are liking to go there. And he's $6,500, 4% owned. Ryan Fox, baby. What does the Fox say? All the way in. We're going back to him again this week. $6,500, 24th in the model for safety, 36th for upside. It's 17 spots better than his DK price of $6,500. So no good in the DK side. Lots of value to be had over here. Hideki 32-1 with Scottie and 30 without Scottie. Well, there we go, Barson. Bada bing. You know, I like the 40. I like the 40. Now, if the 32 was the only number available, then you just go with the 30 without the Scottie market. That's a no-brainer, in my opinion. So that's what's going on over there. Usually what happens is when I tout somebody to not do well, like Aaron Rye last week, I kind of clipped that video piece. That dude does well. Should we try and find that guy this week? Going to go ownership-wise. Wu is overly owned. Matt Fitzpatrick. Makes sense. I get it. You know, I'm not going to bitch about that. It didn't work last week. You know, he almost busted people, but he didn't. I think let's go ahead and say Xander. Xander is the no way Jose play of the day. Might as well take a sip of some whiskey after that one. Xander Schauffele, $11,100. He's 20% owned. Upside rank of 6th. Safety rank of 5th, but the DK price is 11th. 11-1. So he's best finished in the last couple starts. Yes, it was a 7th at the Open. Yes, it was a 12th at the US Open. It's been fine. You know, he's been okay. He hasn't had a top 10 this year. A top 5, sorry, this year. Xander Schauffele. You know, I think there's better value to be had in the Russell Henley streets. If we just filter on top 10 rates, I mean, you can just, let's go top 5 rates, yeah. You know, like Xander Schauffele is not going to show up until look how many guys have got top 5s more than Xander this week. So now the top 10 market's different. If we filter by top 10s, he pops up there a little sooner, but still not the craziest amount of top 10s either. He's been ultra consistent in the top 20 market. If we filter by that, he should get up even closer. He's 3rd in the field in strokes gained top 20s, top 20 rates. But that's safety, baby. We're looking for upside. And there's Corey Connors, Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Thomas, Russell Henley, and Scottie Scheffler with more top 10s than Xander. And we would be for the next 2 minutes if I had to speak about who's got more top 5s than Xander Schauffele in the last little while. Also, when it comes to Xander and approach play, you want to dial in on Xander Schauffele at long iron tracks, where everything comes from 150 and beyond. 6th in the field from 150 to 200, 5th in the field in strokes gained from 200 plus, 31st with a wedge in his hand. He's never been a good wedge player, and we're going to see a significant amount of wedges this week. Here's the approach buckets. 100 to 150 is wedges. We're going to see 30% of shots coming from that range. It's more than tour average. Tour average is 11 and 17. It's 12 and 20. So we're getting a little more than tour average this week. And his superpower from 200 plus is less than tour average, significantly. We're only seeing about, 14 of shots coming from 200 plus. That's as many as from 100 to 125. So that's just a little hesitancy for me on Xander Schauffele. Doesn't check enough boxes either. Only 3 boxes checked. What does he do on Bermuda surfaces? He's not been putting the greatest on Bermuda the last little while. There's a lot going on in his world. I think he's got a lot of great parts, as you can see. This is why he's so consistent, but it's the majors are where the long irons happen, and that's going to be the situation there. So, all right. Xander Schauffele, that's why we're out on him. This is where we're going over here. Let's see what happens. All right, so chatting to some people in the chat here. I'll play him every week because I saw champion upside in him from day one. Given his recent form, he's round 2. He's winning upside and his DK price. Isn't now the time to play him again, or am I too biased? Let's go find Sungjae. Sungjae Im. All the way down here. Where the hell is Sungjae? Come on now, buddy. Okay. So, he's in the 6K range. He's not priced very well for me either. Grades out well for the comps side of things. He's very good around the green. I think he's got to be pounding greens, though. He's missing so many greens. 69th, he's dead last in the field in green regulation rates. Womp womp. Not good there. Yes, he played well last week. Yes, he putts better on Bermuda. All of that stuff. Man, he played so well those first 2 rounds. He was in the mix and still finished 27th. But if you got some faith in the guy and he's showing some form, he's got a 6th and a 12th year as well. But still, like $6,800, I think there are other options I would lean into instead. Ryan Fox is someone I'd go to instead of Sungjae. Michael Kim is someone I'd go to instead of Sungjae. If I'm looking for some more power rankings over here, we are going to Ryan Fox, Nico Echeverria, Nick Taylor. I think those are all guys I'd go to instead of Sungjae. I mean, he's just been bad. Just been very, very bad. Give me Jacob Bridgman at $6,300. I'll be going to him a lot this week. Brian Campbell's my sneaky play of the day. Going to be liking Brian Campbell this week. Let's go. Bud Coley as well, $6,400. Lots of upside. Been playing kind of poorly lately. We're going to get some good low ownership. Putted like a complete buffoon last week, but we can expect some good work from him. I like this course for him a lot. Let's go. We're going to go back to him again. See Aldrich in the chat over here. Where's the Aldrich situation? It would be fun, 201. Just got to keep. Yeah, we're going to keep him on the back burner. I don't mind sprinkling him into a couple DFS lineups, but this isn't the week for him in this kind of field. Nick Taylor this week, just wish he was triple digits where I'm at. Yeah, he's also like, what has he been up to? He's kind of cooled off a little bit. With the irons was sensational lately. And he's just, since the Memorials, kind of just been floating around, playing some good stuff. He's 6% owned, $6,900, makes a lot of sense. So I don't mind him. Yeah. Nico, lock for price savings. If you played him last week, you're playing him this week. Cheaper, similar situation. Same greens, same kind of proximity areas. That's what you're looking for this week for sure. All right. Some more stuff at the bottom here. Like Kurt Kitayama, a lot at $7,200. He's going to be going in there for me. Lucas Glover checks a lot of boxes. Good safety ranking. Good upside ranking. Price value. Let's go. Like what we're seeing in that department. So going to go to Lucas Glover. Got an 8-spot ranking improvement there. Max Griesemann is interesting. I don't know if I like him on an iron-heavy venue. Not the greatest with the irons, not the greatest with the ball striking, but he putts very well. I don't think that's going to be the situation here. Great putter on Bermuda, but gets off to really slow starts as well. Maybe this week is the situation we're looking for. Siwoo is kind of broken, isn't he? He's the opposite of Harry Hall. Kind of just going from 49th in round 1, 43rd in round 2, 29th in round 3, 24th in strokes gained in round 4. Kind of gets better as it goes. I don't know. He's had a lot of miscuts in the last little while. And he's played a lot. Jesus, he's played a lot of golf. What is that? 8 in a row. He's playing his 9th consecutive tournament. That's not good. 9th consecutive tournament. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if waste management is a great comp. It could be. Excuse me. It's dad life. Anyway, I think Florida courses, TPC Sawgrass, Innisbrook, Valero, Cognizant Classic, those kind of venues, lots of water infested areas, even the Amex Stadium course, similar kind of venue with lots of water hazards. Waste management has a couple of those strategically positioned. So maybe you could say, but it's not as strong a take as I would like. Driving there is a bit more distance dependent than accuracy. I think you can find yourself in trouble if you drive it skew over here. All right. So that's kind of basically where we're going, friends. I'm actually feeling a little tired. So probably going to skip the Ryder Cup stuff this week. We're going to just call it an easy, quick one. Next week is episode 150. We'll be doing some fun stuff over there. So if you guys want to get in on the party, I'll see you guys next week for episode 150. Let's have ourselves a banger. We're going to go Russell Henley, Hideki Matsuyama, Ben Griffin, Sepp Straka, and Viktor Hovland are going to bring it home for us this week. Have a great one, Wheels Up. Thank you, Fat Sandwich, JD, Kevin, everybody in the chat, Barson, Commentating Nerd, my friends. You guys have a fantastic, fantastic evening. I'll catch you guys in the Model Maniac Discord. Use code BOX50 for 50% off your Model Maniac Patreon needs. All the tools you see over here, you can get them for you. Yeah, feeling a little down, a little like nasally. We got to get off the stream, kind of recoup. I'll do maybe a separate Ryder Cup episode. I'm going to deep dive some fun stuff. So let's go. All right, friends. Have a good week. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday next week, 7 Eastern, every time. Also, go check out Fantasy Golf Degenerates. Peace.